students, hi. So today we will discuss about the chapter the life process, which comes under biology in 10th standard science. Okay, so based on this chapter we will be discussing about the main areas to focus and to concentrate, so that you will be able to score maximum 90 plus marks in that particular chapter. So here you know that the life process means it is the type of the process in which helps the organism to survive on the earth. So life process means it is the basic function of a living organism for its existence of life on earth. So many basic functions are present there in our body itself. So that is working inside, many systems are there inside our body which helps us to survive on the earth. So based on this chapter, in this chapter we will be dealing about the four main life processes. That is, the first one it is nutrition, second one it is respiration, third one it is transportation, and the fourth one it is excretion. So these are the four main processes which we will be discussing in this particular chapter, life process. Okay, so first we will discuss about the nutrition process. So before going to that particular topic, nutrition, we should be able to know, how can you know whether that a particular organism is alive or not? So that is an important 1 mark question it is. What is the main criteria used to know whether that a particular organism is alive? So the main criteria which is used to know that a particular organism is alive, that is movement. Movement is the main criteria which is used to know whether that particular organism is alive or not. So that is a frequently asked 1 mark question. So in between in this video, I will be telling about the important areas you have to focus. At the same time, the main important questions which will be asked for board exam, frequently asked question. That is why I am stressing, it is a 1 mark question, it is frequently asked. Okay, so movement is considered to be the main criteria for knowing that the particular organism is alive. So next, the topic it is mainly based on the characteristics of living organism. Characteristics. So characteristics of living organism, I hope you will have already learned in 6th standard regarding this, even though in little bit more detail you are studying in 10th standard. Okay, so the main characteristics, total there are 7 characteristics for living organism. You know that all the living organism, they move. Then all living organism, they grow. They respire. All living organism, they respire. All living organism excrete. All living organism, they reproduce. All living organism, they need food. And all living organism, they respond to stimuli. So these are the main characteristics of living organism. Okay, once again I will just repeat all the 7 characteristics of living organism. Living organism, they move, they grow, they respire, they excrete, they respond to stimuli, they reproduce, and they need food. So these are the main 7 characteristics of living organism that you have to keep it in mind. You just repeat along with me so that it will be helpful for you to remember main things what is needed for the exam. So this is also already repeatedly asked question, that is the main characteristics of living organism. So once again I will repeat, the main 7 characteristics of living organism it is, they move, they grow, they respire, they excrete, they reproduce, they need food, and they respond to stimuli. I hope all have understood, all have got through this, all the 7 characteristics of living organism. So now we will move on to the life process, that is nutrition. So what is meant by nutrition? How can you define nutrition? So nutrition means it is the mode of taking in food and utilizing it by the body. That is known as nutrition. I have told regarding the definition of nutrition, isn't it? So nutrition means the mode of taking in food and utilizing it by the body. Okay. So here under nutrition, we should know its classification. So this nutrition, it is classified into two. That is, two main methods are there for nutrition. Okay, two main methods. So the two types of nutrition, one it is the autotrophic and the second one it is heterotrophic. So two types of nutrition, that is autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. So I am not going in detail regarding that. In this, you should know the classification of heterotrophic nutrition. Okay, so this heterotrophic nutrition is again classified into three. One it is the saprotrophic, then parasitic and holozoic. So these are the three main classifications of heterotrophic nutrition: saprotrophic, parasitic and holozoic. So I have told only the classification of heterotrophic because these are frequently asked. What is meant by saprotrophic nutrition? What is meant by parasitic nutrition or holozoic nutrition? Here the definition of heterotrophic and autotrophic, it is not that much asked, but you should note the definition of saprotrophic, parasitic and holozoic. Saprotrophic means the type of nutrition in which the organism, they take their nutrients from the dead and decaying organic matter. So that is how they get their nutrients and they survive. Example, simple example is fungus. Okay. Second one, it is parasitic nutrition. So this is also a mode of nutrition in which the organism, they take the nutrients from other organisms without harming or killing them. Okay, so they get their nutrients from another organism, but they are not harming that particular organism. At the same time, they are not killing that organism also. So that is how they get these organisms, they get the nutrients for their survival. Simple example, it is the lice which is present in our hair. That is a simple example which will be able for you to remember also. Okay, it will be easy for you to remember. So that is one example for parasitic nutrition. And last one, it is the holozoic nutrition. In holozoic nutrition means the mode of nutrition in which the complex substances is broken down into simple substances by the process of ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and excretion. So these are the common process which takes place in human beings only. Human beings, not only human beings, other animals also. Okay, so simple example you can give it as human beings. The holozoic mode of nutrition, it takes place. The simple example is human being. So these are the three types of heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So that you have to just remember the definitions of all these three: the saprotrophic, parasitic and holozoic. Okay, so now we will move on to the particular two types of nutrition. That is how the nutrition process, it takes place in plants and how it takes place in animals. That you have to know. How the nutrition takes place in plants and how nutrition takes place in animals. So in this, the nutrition process, how the nutrition process takes place in plants. So in plants, you will be able to know regarding that it is a vast area. Even though I will be concentrating only the areas where the questions will be asked for the board exam. So in the case of nutrition in plants, you will be learning about the process known as photosynthesis. I hope all will be knowing that what is meant by photosynthesis. Photosynthesis means the mode of making food by the plants by utilizing carbon dioxide, sunlight, energy in the presence of chlorophyll. Okay, so that is how the plants, they prepare their food. So that is meant by photosynthesis. So here in this chapter, based on that, you will be learning about how the process of photosynthesis takes place, many experiments to know regarding without chlorophyll, how the whether the photosynthesis will be able to take place, or without carbon dioxide, whether it will be able to take place. Like that, many tree experiments also you are learning. So I am not going in detail regarding that particular experiments. Only the areas you have to cover for board exam or the frequently asked questions in which all areas, that only I will be pointing out. Okay, so in the case of photosynthesis, the main three steps which is involved in photosynthesis, that is very, very important. It is frequently asked. It is a 3-mark question for board exam. Mention the main 3 steps for photosynthesis process. So the first step, it is the absorption of sunlight energy by chlorophyll. So that is the first step, the absorption of sunlight energy by chlorophyll. The second step it is the conversion of light energy into chemical energy. The conversion of light energy into chemical energy and the breaking down of water into hydrogen and oxygen. So that is the second step. Second step it is the conversion of light energy into chemical energy and the breakdown of water into hydrogen and oxygen. And the third step it is reduction of carbon dioxide by hydrogen to produce carbohydrate. So the third step it is reduction of carbon dioxide by hydrogen to produce carbohydrate. Okay, so these are the three main steps of photosynthesis. In order to explain the whole process in detail, only these three steps you have to remember. So these three steps will help you to score 3 marks. Okay, it is a 3-mark question. The major steps which is involved in photosynthesis. Okay, so that is very important that you have to go through very well for the board exam. The major steps which is involved in the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so I have told about the major steps which is involved in the process of photosynthesis. 3 major steps already I have discussed. So now you should know regarding what is the chemical equation for the process of photosynthesis. So here I have told that photosynthesis is a process by which the carbon dioxide it reacts with water in the presence of sunlight energy and chlorophyll to get what? Glucose 6H12O6 plus what is released in that particular process? Oxygen is released. Okay, so this is the chemical equation for the process of photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll to get carbohydrate, that is C6H12O6, and it releases the gas known as oxygen, which is used for our survival. Without oxygen we cannot survive, isn't it? So here oxygen it is released during this particular process. So now just in short I will tell what are some of the points you have to remember regarding this particular area, that is the nutrition in plants. First one it is regarding the condition which is necessary for photosynthesis. What are the main conditions which is necessary for photosynthesis? So first one, the main condition, one it is the sunlight, then carbon dioxide, then chlorophyll and water. So these are the 4 main conditions which is necessary for photosynthesis. This also you have to remember because these are the terms which comes for the particular experiment. I have told that already. Main 3 experiments you have to learn based on this topic, that is photosynthesis. So here how the sunlight is necessary for process of photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is necessary for process of photosynthesis, and chlorophyll is necessary for process of photosynthesis. So all the 3 experiments you should just go through till now regarding, in order for that to explain in detail. Only 1 or 2 times the question has been asked regarding this experiment. So that is why you should go through that particular experiment. But in between the experiments, there are certain points you should remember which will come from give reason type of questions. Okay, so here in that mainly one thing it is regarding the carbon dioxide is necessary for photosynthesis. In that particular experiment, when we are doing that experiment, we are taking a wide mouth bottle and in that we are putting potassium hydroxide, KOH. Potassium hydroxide pellets are added in the wide mouth bottle before setting the apparatus for the experiment. Why potassium hydroxide is added to that particular experiment? The main reason for adding the potassium hydroxide is that already the carbon dioxide gas which is present in that bottle should be removed. For that process, why we are adding potassium hydroxide in that wide mouth bottle for setting that experiment, that carbon dioxide is necessary for the process of photosynthesis. Along with that, in all the experiments, we are doing water bath method. That is, after under the experiment we are using a leaf from the plant, and that leaf it is then removed and then it is boiled in alcohol. It is put in alcohol. Why? To remove the chlorophyll, isn't it? So mainly this in the case of either sunlight or carbon dioxide, all these steps are involved. So the main one question which will be asked based on that it is, why the water bath method is used for boiling the leaf in alcohol? Why you are not boiling the leaf by putting it in alcohol directly on the flame? So the main reason for that it is the alcohol is highly inflammable. So it helps to remove, that is, when we are using water bath method, if we are directly boiling it, there is a chance of catching fire. So since it is highly inflammable. So in order to avoid all those things, we are using the water bath method. What is meant by water bath method? Water bath method means a small beaker containing alcohol and leaf will be immersed in another beaker containing water, and that big beaker will be kept on the Bunsen burner for boiling. So when the water boils, so this is the apparatus. In this, like this, it will be kept. This is alcohol with leaf, and this is water. Okay, this is water. This is alcohol. So in this method, it will be kept under the Bunsen burner, and when the water boils, the heat it will be passed to the alcohol, and the alcohol it starts to boil and it helps in removing the chlorophyll from the leaf. Why? Because the chlorophyll sometimes it will interfere in the experiment and we will not get the correct result. So for that purpose, this water bath method is used. Okay, so we are not boiling the leaf containing alcohol directly on the Bunsen burner because it is highly inflammable. So that point you have to remember in this experiment. At the same time, this is regarding the potassium, adding of potassium hydroxide in this particular experiment. Okay, so just I am moving on to what are the raw materials which is necessary for the process of photosynthesis. All these are 1 mark type of questions. That is why I am telling only the points. So the raw materials which is used for the process of, which is necessary for the process of photosynthesis, the raw materials it is carbon dioxide and water. These are the two raw materials which is needed for the process of photosynthesis. Okay, carbon dioxide and water. And in that particular content, you will be knowing about the term stomata. I hope all will be knowing regarding the stomata. Stomata, it is the tiny pores which is present on the surface of the leaf. So, what are the main functions of stomata? That is already frequently asked. Okay, this frequently asked question, the functions of stomata. So, the main function of stomata, one it is exchange of gases. Exchange of gases, and the second function it is transpiration. So these are the two main functions. Transpiration, you will be able to know that the water which is present in the plant, it will be going to the atmosphere in the form of vapor. That process it is known as transpiration. So all these two processes it takes place with the help of stomata which is present on the surface of the leaf. So these are the two main functions of stomata. One it is the exchange of gas and the other one it is transpiration. So this area you should concentrate because this question always comes for 2 marks. 2 mark question it is the function of stomata. So already we have discussed regarding the condition necessary for photosynthesis, raw materials necessary for photosynthesis. So which is the site of photosynthesis if it comes? That is also a 1 mark question. That is 1 mark when I am asking, it will not come in the form. Sometimes it comes in the form of MCQ also. Okay, so that is why I am particularly telling that it is 1 mark question. So what is the site of photosynthesis? The site of photosynthesis it is chloroplast. Okay, so the site of photosynthesis it is chloroplast. So this it is present where? It is present in the leaf. And you know regarding the structure of the leaf, isn't it? Many cells are present there. Upper epidermis is present there. Then the lower epidermis is present there. Lower epidermis it contains stomata. And in between the two types of tissues are there. One it is the palisade layer or the palisade tissue, and the other one it is the spongy layer or the spongy tissue. Okay, this palisade layer and the spongy tissue it contains the chloroplast. The palisade layer and the spongy tissue, it contains the chloroplast, which is considered to be the site of photosynthesis. So we have discussed the condition necessary for photosynthesis, the raw materials necessary for photosynthesis, and the site for photosynthesis. Okay, I hope you all have understood regarding all these points. It is I am pointing out only the areas where you have to concentrate for the board exam. I am not going in detail because it is a very vast chapter it is. Okay, so now we will move on to the how the nutrition process it takes place in animals. So already regarding the plants already I have told. Now how it takes place in animals. So in this particular part you will be learning about the digestive system of human beings. The digestive system. So in that also you will be coming through different types of organism like regarding the herbivores, carnivores and omnivores and all you will be knowing, isn't it? So that and all it is not that much important. So you have to focus only regarding the digestive system. That is, you will be learning about how the nutrition process it takes place in animals when you learn regarding the digestive system. So in the digestive system, I have told that already. I have just told when I told about the holozoic nutrition is the ingestion process. Second one it is the digestion process. Third one it is the absorption. Fourth one it is assimilation, and last one it is addition process. So these are the steps. These steps you cannot interchange because all these steps it should be in this particular order only. Okay, first ingestion. Ingestion means the process of taking in food. Then it is undergoing the digestion process. After digestion, it must be absorbed in our body with the help of the bloodstream, isn't it? So after the absorption, it should be assimilated to each and every area for the growth and repair of the body. And last one it is addition process. That is the unwanted substance. After the food it has been digested, absorbed and assimilated, the unwanted things it should be removed from our body. Otherwise it will get accumulated and it may result in some toxicity which result in some different types of diseases, or it may result in the death of the person also. So that unwanted substances should be removed from our body. That process it is addition. So these are the 5 steps which is involved in the process of nutrition in animals. So here when you learn about the animals, you will be learning about, along with human beings, you will be learning how the process takes place in amoeba also. So how the nutrition process takes place in amoeba. Amoeba also the same, all the 5 process takes place, even though it is a unicellular organism. It does not have any particular other organs to do that single cell. It is performing all the functions. So all these 5 process it takes place in amoeba. It is taking the food, it is engulfing the food with the help of pseudopodia. Then with the temporary stomach will be formed inside the amoeba, and by the process of this digestive enzymes, the process of digestion takes place, and then it will be assimilated to the body, to that single cell, and then after the assimilation it ruptures, the cell membrane ruptures, and then the unwanted substance it will be given out from that particular cell. That is how all these 5 process it takes place in amoeba. Amoeba also undergoes the holozoic mode of nutrition just like human beings. Okay, so you will be knowing how this particular process takes place. In this you should know the diagram. The diagram how the process of nutrition takes place in amoeba. The diagram is important. So the diagram you should learn how the process takes place in amoeba. Now we will move on to how the nutrition process takes place in animals. In that you will learn the human digestive system. So you should know what is the length of the human digestive system. The length of the human digestive system is 9 centimeters. Okay, human digestive system it is 9 meters long. So it starts from the mouth. So the different parts I will just go through because it is not that much frequently asked. Diagram you should know, even though till now only 1 or 2 times it has been asked regarding the digestive system, That also the diagrams they may give in the question paper. Only things, certain parts you have to mark. A, B, C, D will be there. So in that parts you have to know. So just I will tell all the parts of that digestive system. The first one it is the mouth or the buccal cavity. Second one it is the esophagus or the food pipe. Then comes the stomach. Then comes the small intestine, then large intestine, rectum and anus. So these are the parts of alimentary canal. So digestive system means along with that 3 glands also will be there. One it is the salivary gland which is present there in the mouth. Then comes the liver and the pancreas. So these 3 glands are also involved along with this digestive system. Then we can tell that the human digestive system part. If the alimentary canal part means only 7 are there. So that 7 parts you should be able to know. So you should know the parts of the digestive system. You should know the diagram. So study the diagram of digestive system and study the diagram of how the nutrition process takes place in amoeba. So in this digestive system, it is also all the steps it is given in detail in the textbook. Only those areas where the questions will come in that particular area, I will be going to discuss now. Okay. So here in this particular digestive system in the human beings. So what is meant by peristaltic movement? That is important. What is meant by peristaltic movement? The contraction and expansion of the movement of the food pipe. It is known as peristaltic movement. So that is very important. What is meant by peristaltic movement? Okay. Peristaltic movement. So that is important. You should remember regarding what is meant by peristaltic movement. So next we will move on to regarding the function of hydrochloric acid. So when we move on to stomach, the shape it is J-shaped stomach, and you should know that regarding the stomach, it consists of the gastric juice membranes. Gastric juice is present there. Along with that, in order for the function of the digestive enzymes and all, your 3 main substances which is present there in the gastric juice. One it is the HCl, that is the hydrochloric acid, then the mucus and the pepsin. Okay, so here regarding the HCl function, that is very important. Always the question comes for board exam. That is, what are the main functions of HCl? So 2 main functions it is there. One it is the HCl. It helps to kill the bacteria that enters the along with the food inside the stomach. That kills the bacteria that enters along with the food inside the stomach. And the second main function of hydrochloric acid it is that it makes the medium acidic inside the stomach. So with the help of the presence of the hydrochloric acid, it makes the medium acidic. Why it is making the medium acidic? For the pepsin enzyme to act. For the pepsin enzyme to act. So this pepsin enzyme, it helps in the digestion of protein. Okay. So the digestion it is starting in the mouth itself, but from the mouth, the digestion of the carbohydrate or the glucose is taking place. But when even though if you are chewing the protein food, for example, dal and all, you are chewing it and you are swallowing it, but actually it is not get digested. So the digestion of the protein substances, it starts in the stomach itself only. Okay, but remaining and all, the digestion it starts in the mouth itself. So the digestion of the protein, it starts in which part of the digestive system? It starts in the stomach, and it helps with the help of which enzyme? Pepsin enzyme. How the pepsin enzyme becomes active? Only in the presence of hydrochloric acid. So that is the 2 main function of hydrochloric acid. It helps the medium acidic for the pepsin enzyme to act, and it kills the bacteria that enters along with the food into the stomach. So this is the another area you have to concentrate in that particular topic. So first one it is regarding peristaltic movement. Second one it is the hydrochloric acid. Next one it is I have told regarding one gland which is present there in the mouth, isn't it? So what is the enzyme which is present in the salivary gland? So the name of the enzyme you should know. So the salivary amylase. Salivary amylase is the enzyme which is present in the salivary gland, which is present there. Once you see your favorite food and all, the water comes inside your mouth, isn't it? So that is due to the activation of the salivary gland. So the salivary gland has got an enzyme which is known as the salivary amylase, which helps to digest the food. So with the help of that enzymes only, the salivary gland is becoming active and it helps to swallow the food, because when you are chewing, the water content is present there inside the mouth due to the presence of the salivary gland, and it helps to swallow the food also, isn't it? So, the salivary amylase is the enzyme which is present there in the salivary gland. Next one, it is regarding the functions of the pancreatic enzyme. That is very, very important. Always the question comes. So, which are the main pancreatic enzymes? First one, it is the pancreatic amylase. Then trypsin, and third one it is lipase. So these are the pancreatic enzymes: pancreatic amylase, trypsin, and lipase. So these functions you should know. Pancreatic amylase, it helps in the digestion of carbohydrates. This, it helps in the digestion of protein. And lipase, it helps in the digestion of fats. Okay, so these are the three main enzymes which is present in the pancreas. We are discussing about the pancreatic amylase, isn't it? So the pancreatic enzymes, the pancreatic amylase, trypsin, lipase. Pancreatic amylase, it helps in the digestion of carbohydrates, trypsin, protein, and lipase, fats. So that is very, very important. You should remember always regarding this enzyme name along with the function of each enzymes. Next is regarding the function of bile. Bile is also very important. The bile function, it helps to emulsify the fat, and also it helps to make the medium alkaline, because from the stomach the medium is acidic. So from the stomach, the food items, after the half of the digestion is over in the stomach itself, then it will be removed, passed to the small intestine, isn't it? So here in the small intestine only all these processes which is taking place. So the small intestine, the medium, it should be alkaline for the further process to take place, so that the pancreatic enzymes can act on it. Okay, so in that, the bile is acting as a very important factor. So the function of bile is, it helps to emulsify fat, and it helps to make the medium alkaline for the pancreatic enzymes to become active. So these are the two main function of bile. So it is also a very important 2-mark question. All these are 2-mark questions. Okay, function of HCl, function of pancreatic enzymes, the function of bile. Okay, so what next 1-mark question it may come, which is the site of complete digestion. So where the complete digestion takes place. You know that the digestion is completed in small intestine. The digestion, it is completed in the small intestine. And the process of absorption also, it is taking place, it is completely done in the small intestine. So digestion is also completed. At the same time, the process of absorption also, it is done in the small intestine, because it has got thousands of finger-like projections known as villi. It helps to do the process of absorption, because it helps in increasing the surface area, and for the process of absorption it takes place. So the small intestine is a very important area in the digestive system, where the digestion is completed. At the same time, the process of absorption is also completed in the small intestine. Then last, it is the digestion process. That is, the large intestine comes into active. In that particular process, the large intestine, the excess salt, the excess water, and the undigested food, it will be, the large intestine, it will absorb the excess water from that undigested food, and then that undigested food, it will be passed out by the process of digestion through the anus. So that is how the process of digestion it is completed. First, the food, it will be taken through the mouth, then the digestion process, it takes place through the food pipe, the small intestine, and absorption also will be done with the help of small intestine. Then it gets assimilated with the help of the bloodstream, and then to each and every part, wherever it is necessary, the digested food, it will be taken to each and every part of our body by this assimilation process. But all the digested food, it will not be taken by the body at a time. So some amount of the digested food, it will be stored in the form of one type of carbohydrate known as glycogen. This is also a MCQ question. Glycogen, it is stored where? It is stored in the liver. So this glycogen, it is stored in the liver, where the excess glucose it is it will be used up. That is, it will be stored in the liver. So whenever the body is requiring, at that time only it will be utilized by the body. Okay, and the last process is digestion, that already I have told, with the help of the large intestine. In the large intestine, the excess water and salt, everything, it will be absorbed, and that undigested food will be removed from the large intestine, or it will be pushed with the sphincter muscle, and then it will be ejected out through the anus. That is how the process of digestion takes place. That is how the nutrition in animals it takes place. So we have covered only the important areas in that particular topic. That is the life process, the first life process, nutrition. We have seen, once again, I'll just recall all the things what we have discussed regarding the main criteria for the existence of life on earth, then the characteristics of living organism. Then we have gone through regarding the nutrition in plants. In that we have discussed about the heterotrophic classification, that is saprotrophic, parasitic and holozoic. And then we have discussed about regarding the process of photosynthesis. In that the three experiments, which are the areas you have to concentrate, we have seen. At the same time, afterwards we have gone through how the process of regarding the condition necessary for photosynthesis, then the raw material for photosynthesis, the function of stomata and the site for photosynthesis. All these are the areas which we have covered under nutrition in plants. In nutrition in animals, we should know regarding all the 5 steps and how the nutrition process takes place in amoeba and its diagram, the digestive system diagram, and in the digestive system of human beings, we have discussed about what is meant by peristaltic movement, the function of HCl, the function of bile, and which is the enzyme which is present in the salivary gland, the function of pancreatic enzymes and its function, and regarding which is the site of the complete digestion and absorption, and how the extra glucose is stored in which part of our body and in which form it is being stored. So all these are the areas which we have covered. I hope all you have understood this. So do support my channel. Always watch it. It will be very helpful for you to score 90 plus mark in board exam. Okay. Thank you.